JoJo Part 9. Doesn't that just sound so strange, like I'm about to go on talking about my own fanfiction or something? Trust me, I am not going to do that, but rather we are going to be going over the realistic possibilities and expectations of a 9th part of JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. For most of us fans of JoJo in the West, we have only ever known the series as being 8 parts long, no more or no less, but that's expected from a series which for a majority of its life has gone largely unnoticed outside of Japanese culture. Before the age of YouTube, Twitter, Reddit, and early internet forums, it was nearly impossible for someone outside of Japan to just stumble upon JoJo, let alone have the means to read the series with quality scans in their primary language. But now with an anime adaptation and a dedicated fanbase from people all over the world, JoJo has found its way into the hearts and lives of millions of people. So for us latent fans of JoJo, one thing we have never been a part of is a new part revealed and a new main JoJo. It almost sounds unrealistic. For as long as I've been reading JoJo, I've only ever known 8 parts and 8 JoJos. So I find it hard to even comprehend something completely new. It almost feels like a fantasy to think that one day and potentially very soon, within 2 to 3 years, which might sound long, but it's kinda short in manga time, we could be starting a new adventure. But then I think to myself, why does it feel so unrealistic for there to be a new part of JoJo? I mean, it's already happened 7 times before, I just wasn't there for those moments. But it's exciting to think that in the near future, I might be. So today, let's talk about JoJo's Bizarre Adventure Part 9. When it comes to talking about Part 9 and speculation, a lot of people just use it as an opportunity to create their own part of JoJo. But today, I want to go over previous patterns the series has shown to make the most accurate predictions I can through evidence on what we can really expect from a 9th part. So from this point on, we will be going under the assumption that there actually will be a 9th part of JoJo, even though Araki has never directly confirmed so, but it's not out of the realm of possibilities that it could happen. No one really knows when Araki will decide to end JoJo or retire from writing manga, and maybe he doesn't even know, but considering he's in good health, God bless, I mean the man's 58 years old, but he looks like he's in his 40s tops, so I would expect him to continue creating manga for the foreseeable future. Also, he said creating manga is his dream job, and he doesn't appear to be bored of writing at all. He continues to experiment with new art styles, drawing techniques, and writing styles as the series gets older and evolves. So that's what's going on with the man that actually creates the series. Now let's get on to what we can expect from Part 9. There's not too many things we know for sure about Part 9, but if anything is certain, it's that it will take place in the Steel Ball Run universe. JoJo seems to be split up into trilogies. Parts 1 through 3 follow the story of the Stone Mask, its origin, and effects it had on the world, as well as the rivalry of the Joestar and Brandel bloodline. Parts 4 through 6 follow the story of the Stand Arrows, again their origins and the effects they would have on the world, and now Parts 7 and 8 both set in an alternate universe commonly referred to as the Steel Ball Run universe. The theme of these parts and the thing that ties them both together is still a bit ambiguous, but it seems to be the Holy Corpse, which was heavily featured in Part 7 and is also seen and referenced in Part 8, but it could just be the fact that they're an alternate universe that take characters, stands, and events that happened in the original universe and recreate them. So Part 9, I believe, without a doubt, will take place in the Steel Ball Run universe. Now that we have a vague setting for where the part will be, what about when it will be, as in the time period it will take place in? Going by previous patterns shown by the series, I believe Part 9 will take place roughly around the same years that it's released. Every part of JoJo besides Parts 1, 2, and 7 took place around the same year or decade that they were wrote. Part 3 takes place in 1989 and began serialization that same year. Part 4 took place in 1999 and began its run in 1992. And this trend of parts taking place a few years into the future continued up to Part 6, and of course we went back in time for Part 7, but now Part 8 takes place the same year it was released, 2011. So assuming that Part 9 continues to build the world of the Steel Ball Run universe and grow the family tree, I would predict that Part 9 will take place in the 2020s or the same year it's released. That just seems like the most logical conclusion to make, and it aligns with every other part of JoJo. Each part within its own universe continued to push the bloodline forward and progress time. As we saw in the original universe, the world of JoJo would grow and evolve alongside our own world, and that seems to be what's happening in the alternate universe as well. Alright, so now we have a good idea of when and where the part will take place. Now there is really only one more thing we can make an inference about. Who will be the main JoJo? I know that might seem impossible to predict, but by main JoJo, JoJo, I mean just their name, not their personality or the type of person they will be. So JoJo is a series with tons of reoccurring patterns, as I'm sure all of you could already tell. And in the Steel Ball Run universe, both our main JoJos are named after previous JoJos. Johnny's full name is Jonathan Joestar, and Gappy from Part 8 was named Josuke by Yasuo, but then taken in by the Higashikata family, making his full name Josuke Higashikata. So it seems like a reasonable conclusion to make that whoever this next JoJo is, their name will be either Giorno or Jolene, or at least nicknames or variations of those names. But xForts, why not Joseph or Jotaro? Well, both of them already exist in the SBR universe. Joseph has already lived and died, we just never saw him. He even followed the same bloodline as his original universe counterpart, being the grandson of Jonathan and son of George. And Jotaro lives through Kira Yoshikage and Kyo Nijimura, both of them being the son and daughter of Holly Joestar, who in the alternate universe fits the same lineage as her original universe counterpart. And Kira Yoshikage and Kyo Nijimura both share aspects from Jotaro in the original universe through their personalities and designs. So our only options left are Giorno and Jolene if we go under the assumption that Part 9's protagonist will bear the same name as a previous JoJo. There are a few ways that an alternate universe Giorno and Jolene could find their way into the SBR universe. Jolene would be the most likely. I think that she could potentially be the daughter of Josuke from Part 8, considering half of him is Kira Yoshikage, who in a way is an alternate Jotaro. I bet anyone watching this video who hasn't read Part 8 yet was just so confused by that sentence right there. But as for Giorno, I think he would have to be the son of a Brando, right? Who do exist in the alternate universe. I just don't see how a Brando would work their way into the Joestar bloodline, so he seems a bit less likely to appear. But even trying to predict who our next protagonist will be is still kinda way out there. I mean, just saying that their name is gonna be either Giorno or Jolene, or a nickname of those could be dead on, but trying to predict how this character will come into creation, or how the family tree of the Joestars will continue, I don't even want to get involved in that mess. I mean, Josuke is so disconnected from that family tree, the only part of him that's connected to it is Kira Yoshikage, who is half of him, so honestly, the next candidate to become a JoJo could come from Kyo Nijimura. I mean, she's more connected to Johnny is than Josuke. Okay, I'm just gonna stop talking about who the next JoJo could be because we're just like borderlining absurd theorizing right now. So Part 9 of JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. My predictions based on the points and evidence stated, it will take place in the Steel Ball Run universe in the 2020s, and the main JoJo will bear the same name as a previous JoJo in one way or another. I feel like those are some fair predictions right there. Maybe they'll even come true. And honestly, that's pretty much all I can predict from the next part of JoJo at this point in time. But as for some things I would like to see from it, first and foremost, a unique and interesting setting. I feel like that's something JoJolian failed to achieve and made it overall lose reader interest over time. One of my favorite things about the series is the unique setting and tone each part has, especially in the parts in the second half of the series. Part 4, a murder mystery set in a small Japanese city. Part 5, gangsters in Italy. Part 6, an American prison break. Part 7, a pure gunslinging western with horses. But Part 8 seems to have an identity crisis on what it exactly wants to be. At first, it was more or less the same as Part 4, a mystery in Morio. But once the mystery is solved, the second half of the part's setting changes to just countrysides and the Higashikata family home, resulting in anything but a memorable or interesting setting. So from my experience reading JoJolian, it made me realize just how important the setting is, and I hope Part 9 is something completely new, or at least an interesting twist on Part 5 or 6's settings. So guys, that's what I expect and hope to see from a Part 9 of JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. Let me know if you guys predict anything else that we could see from a Part 9 that I didn't mention in this video with at least some supporting evidence from previous parts. As always, thank you all so much for watching this video. I really appreciate each and every one of you that take the time out of your days to watch the videos I create. Like if you enjoyed and subscribe for more. Again, thanks guys, and I'm out. Peace.